Hello and welcome back to Sonny Talk Spurs, and today I'm going to be answering the question, are Tottenham Hotspur in a crisis? But before I get into this one, if you are new to the channel, why don't you leave a like on the video, subscribe to Sonny Talk Spurs and hit that notification bell because it lets you know every time I've gone live. Now, let's get into the video. Yes, the dreaded word crisis. I've said it, but do I believe it? I'm not sure at the moment, but we'll get into that as the video goes on. Because after obviously that monumental and crazy game against Chelsea on Monday, I've seen fans, I've seen rival fans, I've seen pundits and everyone in the media alike suddenly say that Tottenham have fallen off. The wheels are off. It's the end of days. But I don't think this is the case. You know, we are going through a tricky period, don't get me wrong. We've obviously had a game where everything went wrong, whether it be suspensions, whether it be injuries to star players, but we are going to overcome it. I have got the faith in Big Ange Postecoglou, but we have got a little bit of a tricky situation to overcome because, you know, we've got to start with the injuries. Like, where do we begin with the injury list we now have? I'm going to put it on screen right now. We've got Perisic out injured. We've got Solomon. We've got Sessegnon. We've got Davies. We've got Richarlison, who's got to have some surgery. We've got obviously Romero and Udogie, who are suspended for 3 and 1 games alike. We've got James Maddison to be confirmed, and we've got Micky Van der Ven to be confirmed. And it just, honestly, it is worrying because, you know, I have said that this is a threadbare Tottenham Hotspur squad. But we knew because, you know, in the summer, I believe, you know, we had a really good transfer window in the summer. We signed some really good players. You know, we signed a top goalkeeper that we needed. We signed a left-footed centre-back that we needed. We signed a creative midfielder that we needed. We signed a winger that we needed. But we still needed some areas of improvement. And that was in, again, another centre-back. You know, we've seen it with Micky Van der Ven. He's obviously now out injured. And against Wolves coming up this weekend, we're going to have such a makeshift back line that we haven't seen for years. I know Conte's back line was a bit slapdash, but we're going to have to play some players out of position, some players that aren't fully fit, some youth prospects. But this is the time where Tottenham need to stick or twist. This is where we try and become one of the elite clubs. We really have to push on. You know, use some players in the youth academy. Use Ashley Phillips. You thought he was a promising signing from Blackburn? We've got him. Use him. Alfie Dorrington in the youth academy. Use him if you want on the bench as an option. We've got, you know, Donnelly. We've got players like Micky Moore who are smashing it at the moment. We will have to use these if we, you know, need some players and need some, you know, depth in the squad. It just is what it is, you know. And would I call it a crisis? No, I wouldn't. We just have to really pivot and make the most of this. We have got a lot in place at Tottenham Hotspur to make the most of this. We've got a new technical director. We've got Scott Munn at the club. Daniel Levy hopefully taking a step back, but hopefully you know, letting us spend some money in the January transfer window. So, you know, we've really got to show where we are in this league. And, you know, we've got to stay. We're only in second place. You know, it makes me laugh, you know. After the game against Chelsea, you have, you know, you obviously have 10 games where you perform perfectly, fantastically, you know. Lots of wins and a couple of draws thrown in. You have one result which was a bit, you know, had everything in it. That was a loss. And everyone sort of loses their heads. But, you know, we've got to remain calm in this situation. You know, I know in the title it says a Tottenham in a crisis, but you're probably getting the vibe that I don't think we are. But the main reason that this video was sparked, usually they're sparked by tweets, and usually they're tweets from The Athletic, was after David Ornstein tweeted something about our January transfer window. Obviously, we know that Tottenham were planning on signing another centre-back this winter, and probably wanted a winger come striker. But David Ornstein has shone some light onto the situation because it might not be easy as we see, and a lot of people's theories and, thoughts about the Harry Kane money might actually not be what they first seemed. So when asked, David Ornstein said about Tottenham's January business, as far as I know, there isn't much money at all for this winter. Spurs knew Kane was likely to leave and spent much of the money they would end up receiving for him in advance, then some after too at both senior and youth level. So they would need to be creative, and I'm sure they have targets. Whether they arrive in January, the summer, or at all, let's see. There were players they wanted to shift in the summer to create space for new faces, only to see them stay put. I think they may have wanted another centre-back, so that's one to watch and could even be more pressing if Van de Ven is ruled out for a prolonged period. So there we go. Like, we know what we have to do. I keep saying the word pivot. I keep saying stick and twist. Tottenham need to know, we know what we've got to go out and now do. The thing about the Kane money is interesting. I sort of did think this, to be fair. I thought, we've spent all this money on all these players that I mentioned before, and then we sell Kane on the eve of the Premier League, and the money sort of matches up. So, and we know how Levy operates. He likes to, net spend and all that jazz. So I'm not surprised at this, but we definitely need a centre-back. Like, it's, we're going into a game against Wolves, as I said, without a senior centre-back. I mean, we got Eric Dyer, but God, I'm not sure does he count as senior anymore? He was out the door at one stage. I just think when I reflect on that summer, it was good, but we still needed a lot more. Levy needed to really push out the boat. We're now in a situation where players that we thought were going to leave, like Højbjerg, like Dyer, like Davies, people like that, like Lloris, we might have to rely on them sooner rather than later, which we didn't really predict was going to happen at the football club. But I have faith. I don't think we're in a crisis. I think we're in just a blip, I'd like to call it. I just think we need to, calm it down a little bit, not listen to all the noise. We're still second place in the Premier League. Our aims remain the same, playing better football, which we are, and trying to finish as high up in the table. Top four maybe, a push, but 5th, 6th would probably be the aim as well. We know we've got tough periods to come. Son going to the Asia Cup. Basuma and Sarr off to AFCON. Other players who could easily get injured along the way. Think of the teams that have had injuries over the last couple of years and how it impacts them. We were quite blessed in the opening 10 games. We've still got a threadbare squad. We do need to improve it. Tottenham can resolve any crisis that comes to a head. We just have to be clever. We just have to be strategic. This new stat-based way that we are in the transfer window will come to help us. Maybe we'll bring Luka Vuskovic in earlier than we ever thought we would, but I think there is some contractual thing that he can't come until he's 18, which is a shame because it would have been interesting to see how he would have fared in the squad. But yeah, I'm not too worried. I just wanted to do a video just outlining, people's concerns and sort of like quash them a little bit, because we'll see against Wolves. It will be a bit different. It will be a bit makeshift. It probably will be a tricky game, but people need to calm down after the Chelsea game. There were a lot of positives to take from that. There was a lot of good play, and is still the way forward. We're so early in this process. I mentioned it in a recent video, my video before about Ange Postecoglou. We are still early. It's only 11 games into the season. We have still got a long way to go, years and transfer windows to back the man that is going to take us to the very top. So keep the faith, Spurs fans. So let me know in the comments down below, are Spurs in a crisis? Is it just a little blip? Or are we going to overcome this and there's nothing to worry about as of yet? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. But before I head off, I'd just like to say, if you have enjoyed the video, leave a like on it, subscribe to Sonny Talk Spurs, and hit that notification bell because it lets you know every time I've gone live. And I'll see you pretty soon with my reaction to the Wolves game. Bye-bye.